For the Radical World Finals at Yas Marina. The green flag's flying, and already, look, what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8 wide.
Cars off into the wall.
Racing hard and fast. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Yas Marina circuit for this race number 2, the sprint race number 2 for the Gulf Radical Cup, and 25 minutes of racing coming your way. Joining commentary this evening, Chris Melbourne, welcome back.
Thank you so much. I can't believe it's been a few hours since we've had a bit of downtime from Gulf Radical Cup racing here, and the grid is forming up as we speak, and it's quite an interesting thing here. Some interesting things happened there towards the end. We thought that Julien Monet got his first ever podium finish position in the championship, but we just had a look at the results, and it looks like he was handed a 10-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage, which dropped him not from down the off the podium, out of 5th and all the way outside the top 10. It dropped him all the way down to 13th position.
So we gave you the provisional results at the end of the race. Now we have the official results, and we'll go through that. Ian Aguilera was the winner from Alim Geshev in 2nd, Amir Faisalan in 3rd, Alexander Novikov in 4th, Perry Demas in 5th, Ibi Hadid in 6th, Greg Gorski finished 7th, Joel Strider finished 8th, Alexander Chichava in 9th position, Pascal Bachmann in 10th, Rick Parrish finished 11th, Ben Curry in 12th, Julien Moni in 13th, that big drop of 10 places for him, Johnny Kazoum in 14th. Zig Vermeister got a penalty for that contact with late in the race. Marcel Kopp in 16th position. Jared Karim was the reason for the race almost finishing under safety car. We had a short run to the flag. Jade had a failure on the right rear of that car, which drove him into the barriers on the approach down into turn 1. He is okay. Hopefully the car is okay as well. Usman Magal in 18th retired the car with a technical issue on lap number 5, and we hope he is back out on the grid. And Jack Yang from Valor in 19th. There we go.
There is Ian Aguilera. Sorry, Phil, that's
right,
you off. But yeah, our pole sitter and our race 1 winner as well. He was the overall winner in the Pro 1500 category in the Radical World Finals a couple of months ago here, right at the Yas Marina circuit. And of course, our championship leader, and essentially running away with the championship just ahead of Alim Geshev. This man right here, well, yes, he is in contention for the championship. It's going to be a very tough fight for him as well. He needs to start scoring some points. He's had terrible luck over the past couple of race weekends here in the Gulf Radical Cup, just not going his way at all. Heading over to the number 77 car, Alim Geshev. He's got some work to do at the moment, chasing the points in this championship. Remember, there are points today for how the grid has been set, and we'll clarify this. The grid has been set by their 2nd fastest lap in qualifying earlier today. So race 1 was their fastest lap, and race 2 is their 2nd fastest lap. So they don't finish in the position that they finished race 1 in. We're looking there at Jack Yang. He had problems in the first race earlier today and was the cause of our brief safety car at the beginning. Here is Zig Vermeister, the driver that unfortunately had a penalty applied to him. He lines up on the 3rd row of the grid in the number 26 for Raw Motorsports. Of course, his teammate was the overall race winner, looking to improve, obviously, in this race here for race number 2. And he lines up alongside Julien Monet, who was provisionally in 3rd in race number 1. Actually had his first ever the podium, and he's absolutely delighted to be up there. He was so lost for words, he didn't actually know what to say when I was having a quick chat with him, because it was the first time he's experienced it with the likes of Ian Aguilera and Alim Geshev. But unfortunately, that 10-second penalty dropped him way down the order. But this man right here took over third place, and on the right-hand side there, driver coaching from a former champion in the likes of George King. Great to see him here, of course. He did 24-hour last weekend. Not everything went his way, but here to support Amir Faizdin and offer his insights.
Fantastic work as we move across to the number 8 car, Alexander Novichov, and he finished fourth in the first race, looking to improve on that, starting 8th on the grid. Remember this from their second fastest lap in qualifying earlier on today. So everybody gets a different look at the start line as we move on to the number 69 car. And Perry Damas, good finish for him, 5th overall. It was a pretty impressive.
He's had some very impressive and strong runs over the past couple of race weekends that we've had in the Gulf Radical Cup. Joined us last season for 23 and 24 and has rapidly improved. Johnny Kazoum, a star of the Gulf Radical Cup. He's been doing this for a number of years, of course, proudly representing Lebanon here this weekend. Double duties for him. He's having an absolute blast here this weekend, racing the 6 hours and the Seat Cupra alongside another local driver, Ahmed Al-Khaja, behind the wheel of that car. As we move further through the field here. Now we're looking at Ibi Hadid. No, we're not. We're looking at Joel Strider, excuse me, because alongside him would be Ibi Hadid. This is the 99 here of Joel Strider. Great finish for him as well. Inside the top 10, finished 8th overall, thanks to a handful of penalties to be applied. And then to his left is Ibi Hadid, who got a fantastic start here earlier today. He's being coached by Suelo Almeida, not here this weekend, but of course offering as much insight as he can when he can. And Ibi Hadid is another one of our drivers who has massively improved since he's joined the championship and is looking and hoping for his first podium finish here. When him and Usman were speaking this morning, actually, this afternoon, even Usman had to agree that Ibi was very quick here today.
Yeah, indeed. Finishing 6th in that first race. A lot of time spent under safety car, 25-minute race, but the safety car brought the field back together, and that was why that penalty was so large for car 23, because of that penalty and the gaps between the cars. They only raced to the checkered flag from turn 16 because of the safety car coming in. So the field was tightly packed right at the very end of the race.
Now, there is some team personnel that are still right next to the number 8 of Alexander Novichov at the moment, and now the marshal has gone over to have a look. So I wonder if there is something wrong with that car, because when we saw a close-up of his face during the sort of grid walk, he was looking above the camera. So I wonder if there is an issue there with Alexander Novichov. I really hope there isn't, because again, he's one of these drivers that we have to really keep a very close eye out on here. It's his first season in the Gulf Radical Cup, and he has been quick each and every race weekend, but unfortunately he's got caught out by a number of issues here and there, but he's always got a smile on his face. He's always so happy to be here, and of course he has one of the biggest fan bases in the Gulf Radical Cup as well. The entire family is here to support him. There he is. So the team have left him to his own device here, but I do wonder if he has an issue with that car that they would like to figure out. As you can see that he is communicating.
He's shaking the head there. That's not a good sign. Running out of the TT racing table, the marshal there with the headset on is just making sure that he's just signaling to the starter that we may have an issue there, that the cars behind may have to go around. We've got the yellow flag out, so he definitely has a problem with that car. Now, we'll be able to roll the cars past him because they're not in their grid boxes because they do a rolling start. So if there is enough room for the car behind him, that's Johnny Kazoum behind him, and Johnny Kazoum's already turning his wheel, and he's at a wrong angle. So the lights have gone out on Alexander Novichov's car, and we've got yellow flags out there at the moment. Green lights are on. We're on our way around the 5.281 16 corners of the Yas Marina circuit, 9 left, 7 right, anti-clockwise, and that car is stationary. They'll be able to push it back through but that is a real shame for Novichov at the moment. He's currently 4th in the championship on 43 points. Now they get to drop around as the marshals now go to work to get that car off the grid. So 18 starters, and here they are. Ian Aguilera starting from pole. Usman Magal starting in second position. That's going to be a great run down to turn 1. Then it's Alim Geshev and Jack Yang on row number 2.
And then we line up on the third row of the grid. Zig Vermeister and Julien Monet looking for another podium opportunity here for the Frenchman. What can he do from the third row of the grid? Amir Faisalin, who took third at the line once the penalties were applied, and alongside him should be Alexander Novichkov, but will not be there. Perry Deramas and Johnny Kazoub, who started behind Alexander Novichkov, got going. So for TT Racing, they'll at least have one car further up the field. Yul Strider lines up alongside Ibi Hadid. He's going to be one to watch out for here. He darted to the left-hand side of our picture at the beginning. He's going to be one to watch again. Greg Gorski and Alexander Chichava. Chichava raced in the Clio Cup Middle East last season. Now he's doing a full campaign here in the Gulf Radical Cup. Pascal Bachmann, the Swiss driver, lines up alongside the German Marcel Kopp in his first year in Gulf Radical Cup racing. Then Rick Parrish, the owner of Relentless Racing, is here this weekend to support Usman Magal, and alongside him Yahid Kardam. The team did a fantastic job to get that car up and running again. And at the tail end of the field in the 55, Ben Curry for Dream Racing, one of 5 cars that Sean Simpson's team has running here this weekend and looking for some silverware to take home. There is Novichkov's car being pushed back into Parc Verme, and that is absolutely heartbreaking there for Alex.
Well, the thing is, in this championship, you get to drop around. Okay, so that's really important for him in regards to his championship. 4th in the championship at the moment, but he'll get to drop around, so he can do this round, or I think it's round or it is races. I'll just have a quick...
It's 2 sprint races and 1 endurance they can drop here in the Gulf Radical Cup, and well, the team are on site pretty much immediately to see if they get that car going again. He will have to start from the pit lane and at the tail end of the field, and he'll have to wait for the entire field to go past if they get that car up and running again, and then he has a lot of work cut out for him, and he's going to have his fingers crossed for a safety car here in the Gulf Radical Cup. So Ian Aguilera and Usman Magal will come round and underneath the hotel here, and it looks like great news for Alexander Novichkov and the team, because
starter motor issue. He'll be able to start that. He just got to keep it running. Red light. Now, the green light won't come on until all of the field is past the pit exit at turn 3. So he's got to wait to get through the tunnel as the safety car pulls off to driver's left around turn 15. And Ian Aguilera, Usman Magal, the front row, Alim Geshev and Jack Yang on the second row. I think this is going to be a good run down into turn 1 for the start of race number 2 here at the Radical Cup.
And it certainly is, and a lot of people keeping a close eye on what Usman Magal does around the Aston Marina circuit, and they try to copy him in race number 1. The lights are on. When they go out, we're racing here. The green flag waves. We are racing for the second time here tonight, and
5 wide.
We are pushing and shoving each other all over the track as well. We haven't got through turn 1.
Unbelievable stuff on the inside, takes it into the lead around turn number 1. Everybody looks to be through there reasonably cleanly. We've got some battles going on in the second part of that pack as they now run line astern down the hill. Round 4 into 5. Lots of defensive driving going on there into that corner.
And another great start from Julien Monet, and it looks like Alim Geshev under pressure now from the number 23. He was trying to do exactly what he did in race number 1 on Usman Magal. Now I'm keeping a close eye on if we see the number 8 of Alexander Novichkov, but he's not come through yet.
Yeah, has he stalled in pit lane? We just got to keep. We don't have a tracker on him at the moment as the battle for second position, the 21 and the 77 go at it.
And that was a great dive on the outside for Alim Geshev. That backs up the rest of them into Usman Magal.
Contact back there, 3 wide going through that second part. Oh, we've got cars off the track. There was definitely, you can't go 3 right through turn 6 and 7. But everybody back mobile again.
And that was very close to come. There was it through turn 7 as Usman Magal now down into 3rd position, chasing down Alim Geshev. And this is, of course, allowing Ian Aguilera, our race 1 winner, to escape up the road and build a gap between himself and his championship rival. 25 points already in the bag. Can he score that extra 25 to put him that much further ahead and up from Alim Geshev?
You're keeping an eye on Julien Monet. We get all of their official positions as they cross the start-finish line. We'll bring you up to date on all the movement in that very hectic first part of lap number 1. 23 minutes, 10 seconds to go as they make their way around the final 2 corners of lap 1.
I would say this is a fantastic weekend there for the Frenchman, Julien Monet. Under pressure here from Jack Yang, who's no stranger here to the Gulf Radical Cup with, unfortunately, the starter motor issue in race number 1. But he's back up to speed now and all over the back of Julien Monet, who got that fantastic start there. Now, as Jack Yang looks on the inside, they're going to go side by side, and that's very close there between the two of them.
Wow, you don't get away with that much at turn number 1 but without being off near the barriers. But really well done. 1.5 seconds was the gap in one lap between Ian Aguilera and Alim Geshev, and then Usman Magal in 3rd, Julien Monet in 4th, Jack Yang down to 5th, Joel Strider up to 6th, Ibi Hadid up into 7th, Perry Damas stays in 8th, Pascal Bachmann in 9th, Johnny Kazum and Zig Furmeister both dropping position 10th and 11th, Greg Gorski 12th, Alexander Chichava in 13th, Kopp in 14th, Rick Parrish in 15th, Amir Freslin down into 16th, Jahid Karim up into 17th, Ben Curry down into 18th.
So there's a note here at turn 6. There was an incident. We saw a couple of drivers
going off the track.
Amir Faislin, you see where he is now. He's currently sat in 16th position. He started 7th, so he's lost 9 places on the opening lap. So he must have been involved in that incident there. And George King will no doubt be on the radio trying to calm him down, tell him exactly what he needs to do to get his head in the zone. There is Usman Magal chasing down both Ian Aguilera and Alim Geshev because he wants to score more points, as he can see his championship rivals just in front of him.
Yeah, Aguilera maintaining that gap. I've got a flashing yellow flag there. We got yellow flag at turn 9, but we had a panel going off. So somebody has had a moment there. It's all gone away. Running wide. That's very wide indeed. Almost into the marina for the white car. I think that is.
That was the 15 of Amir Faislin, who was off on the rumble strips there. As Ian Aguilera through turn 16 here. Across the line, 1.5 seconds was the gap. It's come down to 1.3 now between himself and the Radical World Final Platinum winner of Alim Geshev, looking for his first championship title here in the 24-25 season. He was 3rd overall last year, looking to improve. Currently running in 2nd in the championship and 2nd in this race here as well. Marcel Kopp looking to carve his way through the order as well. Sat in 14th, tucked up behind Alexander Chichava. That gap is about 0.5 of a second separating those two drivers there.
Jack Yang absolutely got mullered on that lap. He's down in 11th now as he dropped down through the leaderboard. Joel Strider and Perry Damas moving up into 5th and 6th. Ibi Hadid holding on to 7th. But Jack Yang and Pascal Bachmann, maybe that was the issue at turn 9, because they've both gone a little backwards on that lap. The gap coming down, fastest lap of the race at 1:58.753 for Alim Geshev in 2nd place, chasing down Ian Aguilera.
And he's gone purple through sector 1 as well with a 24.846. He was, but if you look at how close they were, it was 2 1,000ths of a second, even closer than that through that first sector. But of course, both of them racing at the Radical World Finals. That's Amir Faislin on the inside of Marcel Kopp. Very distinct livery on Amir Faislin's car. The front end has been changed to just a plain white, but the side of the car has got black spots all over it.
Well, they have a heap of spares down there at Gulf Sport Racing, and they can get cars back on the track. We saw lots of damage to one of the cars, the number 7, back out racing again. Jared Karim made it all work. Just a mechanical break, or something broke on the right-hand rear of that car. No driver in error involved. If we said that in the previous commentary, we make our apologies to Jahid, but it was a breakage which the team has fixed.
And Marcel Kopp here doing a fantastic job. It's his first ever racing series that he's participated ever. He's never raced anywhere in the world, whether it be back home in Germany, in the UK, but he's looking for, obviously, to hone his craft here in the Gulf Radical Cup against some of the best drivers, not just here in the region, but around the world as well. And he's done a fantastic job since the season started a couple of months ago to really work his way through the field. And he kind of threw himself in the deep end by having his 2nd ever race weekend at the Radical World Finals. But he's always got a smile on his face. He's always very happy to be here, and he's always improving week in and week out.
So Amir Freslin has got past Marcel Kopp, battle for 14th and 15th. That was the only change on that entire lap. So things are starting to settle down. 18 minutes, 18 to go. And this is the battle. Greg Gorski and Yang heading down into turn number 5.
That's the 24 and the 33 as they work their way through the apex of turn 5 and now onto the back straight. So Jack Yang will be picking up the toe from Greg Gorski here. He's had quite a fun weekend here as well. Double duty for him, racing the 6 hours in the 992 category, but also I think he just didn't want to sit around and do nothing. I think he wanted to keep racing as well as Jack Yang looks on the inside down towards turn 6. Very late on the brakes, so the two of them are as they run side by side. Greg Gorski's got the inside line for the next corner. And that was very close there for the 24 and 33. But Jack Yang gets the better of it and through he goes.
It did, but Gorski gave him racing room too. It was very gentlemanly. He knows he's going to have another chance. He's right up under the rear wing now as they head down towards turn number 9. Great battle going on for down in the places, 10th and 11th overall at the moment.
Ian Aguilera quickens through sector 2, trying to put a gap between himself. It looks like Alexander Tachava's lost out to Amir Faison as well. So Amir moving up now into 13th, trying to claw his way back up inside the top 10. Unfortunately was off. We didn't quite see the incident why it happened. We did see him running wide through turn 10, didn't we? But he is on a move at the moment with 17 minutes and under left on the clock here at the Yas Marina circuit. There is Johnny Kazoum under pressure in the number 5 from Zig Vermeister in the 26 car here at the moment. Zig Vermeister is trying to stay with him as much as he can, but of course Johnny Kazoum has a wealth of experience underneath that helmet.
Indeed he has, as the leaders have top 3 separated just on by 3 seconds at the moment. 1.5 seconds from Aguilera to Geshev, 1.6 seconds back to Usman Miguel in 3rd, and then 6.5 seconds back to Julian Monti. So those top 3 now have broken away, and Alim Geshev puts in the fastest sector 1.
Now it looks like Johnny Kazoum's got a broken right headlight by the looks of it, Phil. Is that going to cost him anything?
I don't think it will. If both of them go out, he'll get the meatball flag because they need to have their headlights operational. But one, I think they'll let it go. It's still got the LEDs there without the headlight, so they can still identify the car.
As he currently runs in 8th position at the moment, looking to carve his way through the field as well. Double duties for Johnny Kazoum here this weekend, getting his first taste of endurance racing past 45 minutes, because of course tomorrow we do have that endurance race at 10 p.m. here, but of course he's doing the 6 hours, so I think he's going to be quite tired for that one. But
indeed.
But he is a racing driver, he knows what to do, and let's see what he can do in this one here as he keeps Zig Vermeister at bay. Just in front of him is the Canadian of Ibi Hadid in 7th position, but this is the battle for 8th at the moment. These two are separated by 0.5 of a second, and there's a further 1.8 seconds back to Ibi Hadid, forward to Ibi Hadid, but it does look like a lot closer than that at the moment. So I wonder if these two are trying to work together to try and get closer to Ibi.
Possibly, and you were right, Amir Faison did overtake Pascal Bachmann and Alexander Tachava on that last lap, so moving up through the field, up into 12th place. 15 minutes to go in this 25-minute race, 1.5 seconds. Again, last lap time, another 58.085, fastest lap for Ian Aguilera, and also Alim Geshev's trying to go with him, now gapping out Usman Miguel by another 2/10 on that lap to 1.8 seconds separating that. The incident at turn 6 and 7 on lap 1 will be investigated after the race, so the results we give you this evening will be definitely provisional.
And it looks like the 33 has tried to make a move on the 24 of Greg Gorski, because they were a lot closer before and actually Yang was in front, and it looks like now Yang has actually dropped back behind Greg Gorski, because that gap is 1.7 seconds between the two of them. We were a lot closer on the previous lap, but I did see a quick glimpse of Greg coming through turn 9 behind these two that are battling here. So it looks like they may have had a coming together, but he's 3 seconds back adrift from this battle. But the lead up front, 1.5 seconds, a 1:58.085. What is it going to take to dethrone Ian Aguilera here in this championship? Because Alim Geshev and Usman Miguel are throwing absolutely everything they can at the young Mexican here. I think he's just 17 years old as well. Mammoth effort for him
so
at
he's such a young boy.
The Radical World Finals, where he did a fantastic job, and he joined us late last season as well, and he was very quick out of the box. But Alim Geshev has just answered back with a very quick sector 2 time there, going 0.2 of a second, and that is Yahid Karim, who's gone round again. But now where has he gone off, Phil?
I think it's turn 5. Yellow flag at turn 4. So it's turn 4, at the beginning of the back straight. That is turn 5, actually. Let's have a...
Well, there he goes. He's done it all by his lonesome.
Well, there's not a car in sight, unfortunately, and that's just trying to go around there too fast for the grip of the rear tyres.
So hopefully Yahya Khadem can get that car refired so we don't have a repeat of what we had. And indeed he has, so the 7 has got going again. So I think Sean Simpson may have had a sigh of relief there as well, that his car has got going again and not the reason for the safety car this time round. 13 minutes left on the clock here at the Yas Marina circuit for race number 2 of 3 that we'll have here. The second sprint race of 25 minutes. Tomorrow we'll have a longer endurance race of 45 minutes, which features 1 mandatory pit stop as Ibi Hadid now under pressure from Johnny Kazoum here as they come across the line. And Zig Vermeister is biding his time, waiting for something to happen so he can sneak on through.
I think something's going to happen reasonably quickly on this one, because they are lockstep together as they head around turn 3 down the hill, past the race and drive school. He's not going to throw it there. He's going to hold it away. He's taking a slightly wider line, which means you'll be able to get on the accelerator earlier coming out of that corner and have a throw down at turn number 6.
And it looks like Jack Yang has caught back up to Greg Gorski and found a way through, and now his focus is on what's happening in front of him because he wants to be a part of the battle as well.
And the battle in front of him is weaving all over the track at the moment. He's trying to break the toe coming down into turn 5.
And it's now down towards turn 6. Who's going to be the latest of the breakers here? Well, not enough room to sniff of an opportunity there for Johnny Kazoum or Zig Vermeister, so they keep at it for the time being. But now they're racing their way past the support paddock, and then of course then it's down towards turn 9. A prime overtaking opportunity for the 2 of them here, because it's not just Johnny Kazoum who wants to move up, it's also Zig Vermeister. As Ibi runs a little wide through turn 9, Johnny did sniff an opportunity, but not close enough to make a move, or is he? We're about to run side by side.
Oh, wow, this is really, really cool. Running up, you never see cars side by side through here. But, touch there. Kazoum can't make it work. But, boy, that was a gallant effort on the dirty side of the track.
That was
but not done yet. I'm up the inside.
Here we go, underneath the hotel and through 13.
It's going to be, is it the last corner charge? Is it the last charge? Ibi is running out wide there, but it's done. But, down the inside.
And that's very brave there through 16 for Zig Vermeister. And there we go, Jack Yang has joined the fray as well. These 3 have slowed each other down enough to bring Jack Yang into the mix, and Greg Gorski's lurking behind as well.
Yang's just got past Gorski on that lap, so we're now having pretty much a 4-way battle for P7.
And Greg Gorski is still lurking close proximity as Yang goes through on the Zig Vermeister number 26, moves him up a place. Next target for him is the number 5, followed by the 22 of Ibi Hadid. Now, what can Jack Yang do here through turn 5? Not close enough to make a move, but Johnny Kazoum is forcing the issue here, and he wants through. He is definitely the quicker of the 2 cars here, and he's being slowed down by the Canadian as they work their way down the back straight here. Like you said, Phil, we've got a 4-way battle, but soon enough it's going to be a 5-way battle for 7th, and we're going to go side by side once again down towards turn 6. It's going to be who breaks the latest of the 2 of them here. Johnny Kazoum's definitely got the quicker car, but Ibi Hadid on the inside. Very, very close.
There was contact there with front left there. And there was contact. He's going to lose that second position, that position behind. Zig Vermeister goes through on Johnny Kazoum. And there was a little bit of contact there. We've got another spinner.
Rick Parrish goes round through turn 5. And that's Jack Yang as well, making some moves here. He's biding his time and goes, thank you very much. I'm going to pick you off one by one as I carve my way through the field.
Brilliant stuff.
It certainly is, and it always is with the Gulf Radical Cup as well, as Ibi Hadid still leads this pack, and there's Greg Gorski in the 24 car, still lurking in close proximity, waiting for something to happen here, as Ibi Hadid leads in this little pack here from now Jack Yang, Johnny Kazoum, Zig Vermeister, and Greg Gorski.
What a battle this is turning out to be. Our lead 3 are already through. 2.1 seconds now is the lead from Aguilera to Geshev, and then 1.4 back to Usman Magal, and 12 seconds back to Julian Moni. Perry Damas, we haven't seen much of him. He's 3 seconds behind, and Joel Strider Perry Damas has just taken Joel Strider for 5th position.
Moves his way closer up into the top 5 as Jack Yang looks for a way on the inside of Ibi Hadid, but the Canadian shuts the door on him. As he'll have to work his way through now the next sequence of corners. Jack Yang knows where this opportunity is going to arise, and he's going to pick it the exact moment. And it looks like these two are now starting to drop. Johnny Kazoum and Zig Vermeister.
I reckon Johnny's got an issue with that contact with that front left, because he has just dropped off the pace, and that's allowed Zig Vermeister to really close up. So maybe he's just thinking, checking whether he has an issue or not, just not pushing quite as hard until he works out that the car's okay, because they've dropped a long way back from this battle, and I'm keeping a close eye on Zig Vermeister. You're right, Greg Gorski is now joining this battle, and as here we go in front of them, Ibi Hadid and Jack Yang down into turn 5.
Here we go, side by side, and Jack Yang's got the run, but Ibi Hadid has the inside line like he did with Johnny Kazoum on the previous lap. They'll go side by side through 5 and 6, 6 and 7.
Jack Yang perfect.
Great moves here from Jack Yang as he carves his way back up through the order. He started in 4th position, dropped back in the early stages of the race, and continues to fight the way through as Ibi Hadid flashes the lights because he thinks he's the quicker of the two. But Jack Yang has made some fantastic moves here through the order to say, no, I'm the quicker driver here, I'm going goodbye.
Well, Johnny Kazoum and Zig Vermeister don't want to be fighting, because if these two in front of them fight, you can see that they're back into this fight again. Johnny Kazoum was about 5 cars back. He's now 2 cars back and closing in.
As Jack Yang is now escaping the clutches of Ibi Hadid and the rest of the field here behind him. Johnny Kazoum, as I said, has latched onto the back of him once again, followed by Zig Vermeister, and then Greg Gorski is closed up as well. Instead, he was 4/10 of a second behind Zig Vermeister, who together were 8/10 of a second back from Johnny Kazoum. That gap is a lot quicker than it was last time round. Quickest time out there, though, 1:57.911 for Ian Aguilera.
Nice. Absolutely on fire there, as Yang is now extending this away from Ibi Hadid and getting that work done. Johnny Kazoum and Zig Vermeister in that battle as well, and Gorski is there. This is a great 5-way battle, but Jack Yang, after that brilliant overtake, is really extended away.
And a 1:59.338 last time round for Julien Monet. That's a personal best. A 2-minute 2:99 for Amir Faisal as he carves his way through the field. Another personal best. And a 2:03.855.
Wow.
And now there are 2:02.937 for Marcel Kopp, the German, down in 15th at the moment, as we're back with this battle.
Which battle.
Raged on, what now, for 5 laps?
Exactly. There we go. It's Ibi Hadid, Johnny Kazoum, Zig Vermeister and Greg Gorski making their way down to turn 5.
You saw on the front straight as well as Johnny Kazoum now looks again on the outside.
Is he going to pull the car up? It gets it stopped. Johnny Kazoum, what a dive bomb.
Fantastic braking there. And you just saw the power. He lurched forward because he knew that Ibi Hadid would brake a lot earlier. Yeah. So he sniffed that opportunity and he timed it to perfection. Great job there from Johnny Kazoum.
Well, Ibi Hadid is now under pressure from Zig Vermeister because he got compromised on the exit because he had to take the narrow line. He couldn't get the drive. And Zig is having a look up the inside around turn 9. Greg Gorski is just sitting back there, going, come on, guys, fight. Bring it to me. Bring it to me.
Did see Greg Gorski.
Track limits. That is... Ooh, that might get a look into.
That's going to be very close there for Ibi Hadid. Greg Gorski, though, was flashing the lights down the front straightaway to tell the two in front of them to get a move on so he could get going again and try and chase down Jack Yang. I've noticed that Greg Gorski's now got a light on the left-hand side of the car, or better yet, the right-hand side of the car actually has gone out, but no need for the meatball flag to be shown for him because the other light is still working. Zig Vermeister seems to be dropping back here from Ibi Hadid and Johnny Kazoum, but the good thing is for the Lebanese driver, he's now been able to escape the clutches of the 3 behind him and is now chasing down Jack Yang.
Good moves there throughout the field. Great racing in this one-make series. Just absolutely sublime stuff. But with 4.5 minutes to go, Ian Aguilera leading now by 2.3 seconds. Alim Geshev just did a 57.8 as the fastest lap of the race.
0.2 of a second faster than the current race leader, but 2.3 seconds. That's a lot of time to gain in just 4 minutes or so left on the clock. There's no additional lap here as well in the Gulf Radical Cup. There's not an extra 20 minutes either that we would have in the endurance race later, which will take place tomorrow. So Alim Geshev is going to have to really put the power down, and he's going to need Ian Aguilera to start slowing down, but Ian's not going to do that as we go side by side, and Ibi Hadid needs to really block that outside line because he keeps losing positions to those who are behind him. And again, we're going to go side by side here with Zig Vermeister this time round. and he backs out there through turn 7, and Greg Gorski sniffs an opportunity, but unfortunately just not close enough or a big enough gap for him to squeeze in.
Greg's got the drive. He has got the drive, and he's got the inside line down to turn 9. Can he keep the power there? No, he can't. Really brilliant as Zig moves across just to try and block that line. Doesn't want to lose any ground to Ibi Hadid. And every time you try and throw that move down there, it's always a risk whether you're going to come out on top. And Gorski in a prime position here. He's on the inside. If these guys get into the battle down into turn 13, under the hotel, let's see how that plays out.
And you can see Hadid's rear there kind of twitch ever so slightly through turn 10, and that could have all gone pear-shaped.
99 getting the warning flag, track limits for Joel Strider.
And there's another number underneath as well, so a car with a single digit also being warned about track limits, and there's only 2 cars, so it's either Johnny Kazum or Yohed Karim, and I have a feeling it's Johnny Kazum that's being warned about track limits, which will be a shame for him because he's on a mission at the moment, and he's really carving his way through the field as well. And it looks like we've got some back markers mixed in as well, because that was the 55 in front of Kazum.
As they run around turn 3, we've got just on 2 minutes to go, so we'll have this lap and one more. All the work to do for Johnny Kazum, Zig Furmeister, Greg Gorski. The gaps are starting to widen out a little bit now. The tyres, they may have put the tyres to too much use.
Especially now with this battle here. Car 22 receives a 5-second penalty for track limits. Car 22.
Ibi Hadid.
And you spotted that as well through turn 10, didn't you, where he ran a bit too wide as Greg Gorski round the 55 of Ben Curry. So that will drop, unfortunately, Ibi Hadid down the order as well after that fantastic 4-way battle that he's been having. Well, actually, it was a 5-way battle.
5-way battle. It was a massive battle.
It certainly was, but unfortunately a 5-second penalty being handed to him for track limits as through turn 8 we go past the support paddock area, as Zig Furmeister will be the next car on the back bumper of the 55 here at the moment. 2.3 seconds to this gap right here. Ian Aguilera is our race leader and has been from the very get-go. Alim Geshev tailing him by 2.3 seconds. There's a further 3.1 seconds back to Usman Magal, who is looking to chase down these two here to score some more points in this championship hunt. But he needs to be outscoring these two drivers here, so he's got to try again tomorrow night in our endurance race.
Well, Ian Aguilera, before the race today, he was leading on 101 points. And so he has to take what he got in race 1. We'll bring you the updated points tomorrow when we come back before the mini enduro. But this is going to get super tight up the top end of the field. But as you said, who can put a mark on this guy?
It certainly is. Ian Aguilera has basically run away with the championship so far. Alim Geshev has kept him honest, but it seems to be who can beat this man right here. Ian Aguilera, who's not put a foot wrong at all here in race number 2. It's a lights to flag victory on the horizon here for the young Mexican driver as he works his way past the support paddock here for the final time in the 17 car. Behind him, Alim Geshev, third in the championship last season. The overall platinum winner in the Radical World Finals, running in second. But this man right here is proving the one that may walk away with the crown at the end of the 24-25 season. It's going to take a lot to dethrone the Raw Motorsport driver here of the 17.
A couple of battles still going on. Jack Yang just 0.2 of a second behind Joel Strider, and Alexander Chichava down in 14th, just 0.4 of a second behind Pascal Bachmann. Those battles are not done with yet. We're on the final lap now. The clock has ticked over 25 minutes. Just 2 more corners to go. 1 more corner to go for Ian Aguilera. What a polished drive for Ian. A winner in race 1 and a winner in race number 2.
A great way there to end the evening. Alim Geshev across the line in second, and for Usman Magal, a bit of redemption from race number 1 as he crossed the line in third. Be great points haul for him as well, and we'll see him once again on the podium here. Julien Monet will come across the line in 4th. He was 18.1 seconds back. He's not come across the line just yet, as Yohed Karim there across the line in 17th position. As we wait for the rest of the field now to work their way across the line. At the end there, a 1:57.669. Ian Aguilera had plenty more in the the tank as Perry Deramas has come through, but Julien Monet has not. Now, it has shown us on one screen he has, but the other he hasn't, so indeed he has come across the line in 4th. Perry Deramas 5th, Jack Yang at the end there 6th, Joel Strider 7th, Johnny Kazum 8th, Zig Vermeister 9th, and Greg Gorski there at the line takes 10th.
Just keeping an eye. Mia Frizzlin does finish in front of Ibi Hadid by 1.7 seconds for 11th and 12th, waiting for the next drivers to come through. Pascal Bachmann and Alexander Chichava having their own battle. They're nose to tail coming across the line. We'll see who does what as we wait for them to come through. But the penalty for Ibi Hadid is 5 seconds for that track limits. And Pascal Bachmann finishes in front of Alexander Chichava by 0.19 of a second. What a race. And congratulations to this man once again. 2 victories from 2 here today. A fantastic drive here from Ian Aguilera. Who can stop him? Well, we'll find out tomorrow at 10 p.m. if there is anybody that has in store in the 45-minute Enduro. But for now, Phil, I'll wave goodbye and I'll see you on the podium in due time. Indeed. Thank you very much for your commentary this evening, Chris Merwin, and we'll have you back for the mini Enduro tomorrow night. Cars now making their way around the circuit to head to Chris at the podium. What an epic drive from Mr. Ian Aguilera, a young Mexican doing it stuff. Absolute heartbreak for Alexander Novichov, having a problem and couldn't get out there as the 17 of Ian Aguilera comes in to the Parc Ferme area. It was a lot of very, very tight racing up there in the mid-pack. And we'll get through the results very shortly. They will be provisional results because we've got a few things to look into. The incident at turn 6 and 7 and lap 1 will be investigated after the race. There's Alim Geshev, our second place finisher in race number 2. And that Usman Magal, after a heartbreak in race 1 with a technical issue, back onto the podium in race number 2. All of these drivers have got 45 minutes to look forward to tomorrow evening. Let's have a look at the provisional results for round 3, race number 2 for the Golf Radical Cup. Ian Aguilera takes the win from Alim Geshev. Usman Magal in 3rd. Julian Moni away back in 4th position. Perry Deramas in 5th. Jack Yang in 6th. Joel Strider in 7th. Johnny Kazum in 8th. Zig Vermeister in 9th. And Greg Gorski in 10th position. Amir Faisalan in 11th, Ibi Hadid in 12th, Pascal Bachmann in 13th, Alexander Chichava in 14th, Marcel Kopp in 15th, Rick Parrish in 16th, Jahid Karim after a spin in 17th, Ben Curry in 18th, and a known start for Alexander Novichov, who is currently 4th in the championship standings. So there's work to do for the guys before they come back for that sprint race tomorrow evening. But some very good movement from some of the drivers in that race. Alim Geshev started in 3rd, finished in 2nd. Jack Yang started in 6th, finished in 4th. Julian Moni, Jack Yang finished 6th after starting in 4th. Julian Moni up 2 places on the grid from 6th to 4th. And Greg Gorski up from 13th to 10th as the Yas Marina circuit goes quiet just for a little while. Podium coming up next as we round up the drivers down there on the Parc Ferme area, having a chat with their teams, just going through all of the race debrief with the fellow competitors, and hopefully we'll have 19 cars out tomorrow once the TTR racing team get to work on Alexander Novichov. We've got a bit of time to do that. Our next race will be around about 10 o'clock tomorrow evening after the Michelin 6 Hours of Abu Dhabi. So we've got a little bit of time. Let's go and have a look at the highlights of sprint race number 2, round 3 of the Golf Radical Cup. Great highlights and a very, very clean race. A couple of yellow flags, a couple of spinners, no safety cars, so it was from the get-go. Ian Aguilera made all of it happen. He finished 2.4 seconds in front of Alim Geshev, and with the quickest lap of 157.669. Geshev did his fastest lap on. He hit the last lap as well with a 157.808. So really getting amongst it, and we thought the tyres were going away, but those two guys doing both their personal fastest laps, and Ian Aguilera really getting the Radical SR3 XXR mobile. And as Chris and I were talking, who is going to put a stop to his already on 101 points after the first 2 rounds? We'll bring you an update of the point standing after the 2 sprint races. Usman Magol was in the argument earlier. Started second on the grid, finished third. Then it was Julian Monty, a great comeback, a great rise up from him, finishing 4th from 6 on the grid. Perry Damas, brilliant from 9th up into 5th. That's a very, very good drive under green flag racing conditions. Great work from Perry under the tutelage of Golf Sport Racing. We're looking forward to see how he goes in the endurance tomorrow evening. Jack Yang, well, we saw him in a lot of battles in car number 33. And how many battles did he need to be in? Started in 4th, but ended finishing up down in 6th position. Joel Strider finishing in 7th position. And came up from 11th on the grid. So good workmanship going forward through the pack, because we had a great battle. Johnny Kazum involved in that fantastic battle. Started in 10th, finished in 8th position. Zig Furmeister, well, he's didn't go all his way, and towards the end dropped back. Started 5th, ended up in 9th position. And then it was Greg Gorski across the line. He started 13th, made up some positions during that race, up into 10th. Amir Freslin finished in 11th place after starting in 7th, and that's not going to do his championship good. Currently running 2nd in the championship on 92 points, and that's really dropped him back with the penalties. We can see the drivers now heading towards the podium area as we take you on a guided tour of the Yas Marina Circuit footwell. As we they're finding their way there. Fred Jacobs is leading them around as they're trying to get up to Chris at the podium. He's going to have a jacket with him. It's getting quite cold. So now they've gone down into the garages. and working their way through some of the garages as we follow them through. Fred Jacobs is trying to find a door to get them up into the podium where they went last time. And unfortunately, it's just one of those technical things that happen at racing circuits. We've got lots of places to go. The podium is not easy to get to, and the guys are working their way diligently to get up there. But we'll have some great racing for you tomorrow evening. 45-minute race, mandatory pit stops, and some of the cars from last round will be having they have to stop for so many seconds. They don't need to do a driver change. They don't need to change tyres, but it's a time stop. And some of the drivers who were successful in the last round will be carrying some penalty seconds added on to their stop time to try and bring the field back together. Driver changes are allowed. You're allowed to run 2 drivers in the mini enduro over 45 minutes as we wait for the team to appear on to the podium, which shouldn't be too much longer. And I can see Chris ready to go down at the podium. Over to you, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on now to the podium presentation for a very eventful race 2 of the Golf Radical Cup here. And as always, let's bring them out in reverse order. Ladies and gentlemen, in 3rd place, please welcome Usman Makal. As he takes a very long walk there to the podium presentation area. In 2nd position, please welcome Alim Geshev. As he will also take the long walk there to the podium presentation area. And then there's, of course, one final driver, the man everyone is chasing down here, the current championship leader and race 2 winner. Please welcome Ian Aguilera. And what is it going to take to stop this man right here, looking for a championship title here in the 24-25 season? And we invite Muhammad Al-Hashmi, the track manager from Ithara, to help us present some trophies here in race number 2 of the Golf Radical Cup. And he'll first present the 3rd place trophy in the Golf Radical Cup, race 2, to Usman Makal. We invite him to present the 2nd place trophy to Alim Geshev. And last but certainly not least, our race 2 winner, Ian Aguilera. And that wraps up the podium presentation here for race number 2. We'll be back tomorrow night at 10 p.m. for the 45-minute enduro. Gentlemen, raise those trophies up high. And that's a wrap here from the podium presentation here for the Golf Radical Cup. Thank you so much for joining us here. We'll see you back tomorrow at 10 p.m.
Thanks, Chris. Congratulations to Ian Aguilera, Alim Geshev and Usman Makal for the top 3 in race number 2 of round 3 of the Golf Radical Cup. Join us tomorrow evening, 10 p.m. local time, when we're going to do it all again. But this is a 45-minute enduro with pit stops. Thank you, Chris Milburn, for the commentary. My name's Phil Anson, and we look forward to your company next time we go racing with the Golf Radical Cup.
For the Radical World Finals at Yas Marina, the green flag's flying, and already, look, what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8.